So I've been thinking for a while about how I would even go about making a video like this, especially with it not being on my actual channel. And I've been struggling with it a lot. So if you guys are unfamiliar with what's been happening or what's been going on, there's my channel got hacked. So Royko64 got hacked, and it was a very elaborate hack. Uh, that's not to say that I didn't fall victim to it or that I didn't get played by it, because that's exactly what happened. I got played by it, right? But the saddest thing of all is just the the back door that it took, along with YouTube's lack of responses to the affected channels. So my channel got hacked. I think it's just about going on a month now. I have lost access to it. What happened was is I was at my regular 9 to 5 job, and it was at lunchtime. I got an email saying that I no longer had access to my channel. It was a series of two emails. First one saying that uh, I am an owner of this channel, which I was like, okay. So this makes sense though. So the second one said that I no longer have access to the channel. It was through a system that's called Google My Business, and it was through a brand page, for lack of a better term, for YouTube or through Google or whatever. So how it happened though was there was this string of elaborate bait sponsorships that were going through my email. And I'd love to say that it was all coincidence, but I think that even the ones that were less of quality were still a part of the overall scheme. So there was a shit ton of really, really sketchy sponsorship emails going through my email. I blocked most of them. I mean, I read them, but then I would block them or whatever. I would just keep going on with my day. It was a huge waste of time. So after a while, though, there's so many scam ones, so many bait, obviously fake ones. There started to be some more elaborate, but I mean, from what I could tell, they looked like pretty realistic, right? So they had their own obviously they had their own website with it or whatever. But the thing that I didn't take into account is domain name, or like the last digits. So it's .com .whatever. So yeah, I didn't take that into huge account, but there end pieces like that are more notorious for hacking and stuff that I had not much knowledge of. So I should have used that as a red flag, right? I should have located said businesses, right, and verified like verified that they're actually legitimate businesses. So that's on me. But the important thing is the only thing that's affected is my channel. I never really accepted money. I never accepted a sponsorship. Really, what it was is they were saying, we've got this service. It's a program, and this program will let you do X, Y, and Z. In this case, it was a program that would let you access high-end computers, right? Kind of like a Stadia or whatever, for lack of a better term. And you could use these high-end computers on cheaper machines in order to reach good gameplay on very low to moderate specs. So the whole idea is it's kind of like Stadia, I guess, where you'll pay like a monthly service or whatever, like a fee, like $30 or something a month, right? And you have access to all these high-end games and computers or whatever, so you can play the high-end games on your not so great specs. I thought this was a decent idea, so I was like, okay, sure, I'll try out the program or whatever. But I didn't do enough of the research before I installed the program, and sadly, all my malware detection or whatever didn't detect it either until long after. So that's another issue, but again, the initial impact, it's on me. I mean, I'm not here to say that this is all YouTube's fault. The initial blowback, it's all on me. You know, but the part that really bothers me though is that I've been a YouTube partner for 7 years now. I've been a YouTube partner for 7 years. I've been doing this for well over 7 years, man. I've been posting to YouTube for probably over 10 years. If you were to look past on the history of all my channels, I've been posting videos for a really long fucking time. The initial reason that I even went into doing this was nothing to do with money, and to act as though the hackers or whatever are somehow personally attacking me is not relevant. You know, the only reason why they're attacking me is so they can milk my AdSense, sell it to somebody else who is going to milk their AdSense with copyright content to just try to make a quick buck. Especially with it being close to this, like, it is December, November leading into December. That was their best chance to make the most money just based on how, like, ad rev is. Ad rev is always highest during, like, holiday time, at least for YouTube from my experience. So, I'm not going to act like this is some personal attack on me or my channel. It definitely did fucking hurt, though, nonetheless. But that's just kind of like collateral. So, the funny thing is, I've spent, like, get ready to put on your tinfoil hat, get ready to get some red yarn, because we're going to be stringing some stuff together, okay? I've had a little bit too much time on my hands, especially, not really, actually, at all. The free time that I spend used to be a lot of it on YouTube and gaming. Now it's just on gaming, and then it was a little bit of trying to figure out what the fuck happened, how the fuck it happened. So I told you guys the initial of what happened, okay? And it's very interesting. So there was one person who actually, like, DM'd me, like, information, and on top of that tried to blackmail me for my channel. But the funniest thing is they said it wasn't blackmail. So while they're blackmailing me, as long as they say that it's not blackmail at least 3 times in the statement, it can't possibly be blackmail, right? I can't just Google blackmail and see what would define blackmail. So what he wanted me to do is he wanted me to pay him an X amount of money and he'd send it back to my account, right? Obviously I didn't agree to this, and like I got a little bit upset at first because it's just kind of a scummy move. So what he told me, though, is that he thought it was a completely legitimate process, which, you know, you gotta take into account. It could just, see, these are my rational thoughts for this. It could be the hacker who literally just hacked me trying to make more money off of me, right? And by more money, I mean, he didn't steal money off of me initially, but it's more so the repercussive damage of the supplemental income that I'm losing. I don't use YouTube to make money. It's really, I have my day job or whatever. I work that, and then this is a completely, like, passion project, which I love it for being a passion project because I don't have to sacrifice it. I don't have to sacrifice being me to make money, you know? I don't think that that's something that I would ever really do with YouTube, at least as of this time, especially doing it for, like, a living or whatever. I can't see that in my future, but I don't know what the future will hold. So, I've been blabbing a lot, so apologies if I'm talking too fast. It's been fucking hard, man. The last month has been really, really hard because I can't do what I've been doing for 7 years, you know? It's really tough. And there's like it's a loss of expression is what it is, because I'm losing my train of thought. I'm going to try to go back to what the initial thing was, the hacking. So I got the Twitter DM with the person blackmailing me, essentially, and he showed me where he bought the YouTube channel, because what it ends up being is this kind of gray area on, like, a Facebook groups. I'm sure there are other things not attached to Facebook that do the same thing, but in this case it was a Indonesian Facebook page that emulates an official YouTube partner. It's a bunch of bullshit, right? But it's got like 50,000 members, and it says it's the official YouTube Indonesian partner. So you gotta think, like, to people who are unknowing of this information, or they don't know or whatever, that you can't sell channels, you can't buy channels, you can't buy partnership. But yet, it's happening very regularly on this Facebook group. Like, I've seen instances of it. I'm not saying that the whole group is fucked. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are specific instances where people are reselling accounts that have been hacked on this Facebook group. So I'm not really going to be doxing anybody or anything like that. What my idea is, though, is YouTube, you need to look into this, because, I mean, the first thing is you should not be able to swap ownership of channel, even on a trusted device, without some extra step. There has to be a waiting period, days, weeks, even. I mean, like, a week? Would that be so detrimental to have somebody swap ownership? That's what I don't understand. You shouldn't be able to sell YouTube channels. You shouldn't be able to trade them like a fucking Blue Eyes White Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh card. There needs to be another step. So obviously, how they got to go on my account on a trusted device is the program that I installed was a backdoor Trojan or whatever, that when either I turned my computer off or whatever, they had that minute time that they needed, and they had the steps so refined that it literally took them a minute to swap ownership of the account to a completely detached account, and I had no way to make a rebuttal, no way to say, hey, this is not what I want to happen to my channel, please stop. No way to revert it, no way to get support. Once it happened, it is a flawless execution of one of the biggest backdoors in Google that I've seen in a long time. You know, I don't necessarily go around looking around for Google backdoors or anything, but this, like, I have to give some credit that this was executed in such a crazy, quick, like, effective way to rape people of their channels, you know? And I don't think, like, I'm impressed by the fact that it's been going on this long and there hasn't been a necessary fix for it. And on top of that, how the massive amount of affected channels. I've heard hundreds, but I fear it's a lot more. It's just that not everybody is reporting it or being as vocal about it. So I was very vocal on Twitter or whatever once I got the account stolen, and it took a very long time to actually even get enough attention to where I would get a DM from YouTube or Google or whoever. So what ended up happening is it got attention of Grande initially, so I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Grande, for that. I mean, I felt completely lost until I finally got a message back from YouTube on that, and they could actually confirm to me, because nobody else can confirm to me that it's fucking hijacked for some reason, right? But after Grande tweeted me out there and gave me support of it, I got emails from Team YouTube, I'm pretty sure, and they walked me through the process of it and said that eventually, after all that time of checking and sending to their internal team, that it was hijacked after about, what was it, like probably 50 WWE Raw highlight uploads. It's like, that's when they knew. 7 years of uploading FPS games, like first-person shooter games, Minecraft, Toontown, Combat Arms. You're telling me after 7 years of that, it took 2 or so weeks to determine that I just wouldn't upload raw dog call them highlights of WWE Sunday fucking Raw. You're telling me that it took you that long to determine that I was just willing to throw the thousands of uploads I had in the trash can. Along with that, completely ruined my monetization status, essentially, because like, in time it would obviously cause like copyright strikes, you know. And I've never had a copyright strike on the channel. I've uploaded, literally, I shit you not, like over 2,400 videos. There's probably more, and I've never received a copyright strike. So that fucking pissed me off, right? That they're just uploading these Sunday Raw highlights. And the funniest thing, though, of the whole thing was the initial first person who bought the channel. He uploaded gameplay, like 2 gameplays. Both of them, like, were horrible. And so people in comments of my channel or whatever were kind of flaming him, so he removed the videos, and then that's when he started DMing me, asking me to, like, buy it back from him because he was too fucking salty. So I thought that was fucking funny. So good job, guys, on that. I mean, you could probably tell it was, especially not me, just because of how shitty the gameplay was. I actually had people DM me or whatever and say, there's no way that, like, I've seen, like, Ben play or whatever, and there's no way that it would have been that fucking bad. Because there are times when I play bad, you know, of course there is, but supposedly it was really fucking bad. I didn't watch any of the footage, but I really didn't want to. I was really salty at the time. So the thing I want to bring up is YouTube as a whole is it's a huge, like, expression point for me, and it's very important in my life, and not having it for a month has definitely had a very negative effect on me. And that's not to say that I can't live without it necessarily. It's just I would much rather live with it, because it's very important to me. And I've met some really great people through it. I've met some of my best friends through it. I met my girlfriend essentially just through playing video games and stuff. So I know that a lot of great things in my life wouldn't have necessarily happened in the way that they did if I wasn't uh, doing YouTube. But I know that a lot of great things wouldn't have happened without me posting onto YouTube, you know. And there's definitely a point, especially in recent time, where uh, my channel was like almost just, it was like slowly gaining and it just like flatlined, you know. And it was a little bit depressing to look at, but I mean, I've also just been struggling a lot too, so to even see it staying there with my lack of uploading and everything like that was still relatively okay in my eyes. I don't always need to be growing, you know. It it's okay to take like little pauses or whatever. So I try not to be too dramatic or uh, too like cynic about it or anything, but I've just been like struggling a lot these last 2 years. These have probably been the hardest and most trying 2 to 3 years of my life that I've had. So the first and like most obvious just elephants is that both of my sisters died within the last 2 years, and both of them are from what I would consider genetic mutations that caused like what doctors would claim as eosinophilic esophagitis, or what people would call later like either mast cell disorder or mitochondrial disease. People call it mito. And it what initially what I would see it as is they could not eat food, and so they would need to have like literal tubes going through them so that they could get the nutrients that they need in order to survive. But the issue is that that's the only way they can get nutrients, but the only way they can get any sort of pain relief, because it was just constant, never-ending pain in my house, you know? And the only way that they could get relief is through, like, crazy, addictive opioid-like medication, and either that or some sort of, like, muscle relaxant or something, but it seemed that the only way was through these crazy medications that were just so unhealthy, it caused everybody to be addicts to it, you know? And while I don't agree with overprescription of medication at all, I actually don't take a lot of medication at all because uh, I'm so, I feel so burned by it, you know? And uh, it's been very hard uh, growing up with that, and it's even harder to know that I won't be able to experience any more life with them and that they have passed away, you know? So the first like and this is where I want to try to bring it back to YouTube a little bit too, because when my sister had her coma, uh, that that kind of took her to an out of like state hospital or whatever. This is when I was still uploading daily onto YouTube. I don't remember the exact year. It's kind of hard to remember, but like specific dates for it. But I remember I still really wanted to upload daily to it, but I had to go out of state to the hospital to go see if she was okay and if she was going to survive. So I asked my really good, like really great friend Corey. Sea Beast was the name that like that was his tag, you know. I asked him if he could help me just by supplying like a few uploads or whatever to my channel to make sure I can still keep that daily consistent basis, you know. And he agreed, and it was the one of the greatest bonds, you know, just knowing that I can just trust my friends to help me and have my back, you know. And it seems like such a fucking simple thing, right? Like, who cares if you don't upload for a day or whatever, but it just meant a lot to me. So Corey, thank you for that. Okay? I know that we all struggle, you know, but we all just grab onto each other and we help each other get through these things. So after that, my sister, she made it through that initial coma, and it was a week or two period where she was like just in a complete coma, but she made it out. There were obviously physical things that she was not going to get back, you know. And ever since then, I think it was phrased best by like my dad, and he said every day past that, like, that she was alive was a blessing, because when when I saw her and when I called the ambulance because she was not talking or responding, uh, it was definitely a very hard experience to decide that this is the logical step, that we need to call the ambulance now because she's not responding and she seems to be in a lot of pain. So, uh, life the last like 5+ years has been a lot of hospital visits, a lot of hospital like trips, and just medical nightmares, you know? So YouTube to me was a way, not necessarily to escape, but it was a great way for me to still connect to the world and still feel like that I can take care of some stuff at home too if I need to. So it has been it has been a roller coaster, right? But it has been an overall positive experience for me. So what I'd like to show you guys now, and it fucking hurts to say, cuz Emma made this for me. So before she died, and she made this for me. And I know there's glare or whatever, but it's basically just saying that I hit 65,000 subscribers on YouTube, and she saw the plaques with like the silver play buttons or whatever, and she was on social media a little bit too, so she understood how important that was to me. And even though Emma had arthritis in her hands and she was in so much pain, you know, she took the time out of her day that she did not have. She had a fraction of what a normal human has of functional time in a day because she was in so much pain. And she took that out of her day to make this for me because she knows how important this channel is to me. And that I will never understand. I will never truly know. I don't know how to say this. It's just she took that fraction of time that she has out of her week to show to me how much she cares for me. And I'll never be able to repay that, you know? I never will. But all I can do is keep trying and know that the fact that I'm living right now is because of a genetic coin flip, you know? The reason I'm alive is because of a genetic coin flip. So I have this life, and I know how precious it is, you know? I know how precious it is. So I'm not going to let them down. And I'm going to keep fighting no matter how hard it is. I'm never going to give up. And I'm going to keep doing what I can do to enjoy my life and to show them that I'm not taking this for granted. So that's what I'm going to do. And I don't have my channel yet, alright? As of posting this, I'm going to upload it to my alt channel. And then once I finally get my channel back, because I know I will, then I'll post it on there too. I would appreciate it if you guys would, if you like the channel before all of this and all of that, follow me on Twitter or whatever, or join the Discord and we could talk or something, you know? My @ for Twitter is Royko64, @Royko64, and my Discord is discord.gg/Royko64. The reason why I'm saying it is less of a selfless plug as it is to say that I put all of this into YouTube and now it's gone, essentially. So to at least have a method to say, hey, I'm fucking hacked, through a different method, it's unlikely that I'm gonna get hacked by all three. So I appreciate you guys for stopping in, and I truly hope that Google can fix this, because this really is debilitating for a lot of channels. And I truly mean it, that I hope you guys are doing great today, you know? I hope you guys are doing great, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, week, whatever. And keep fighting, keep living, keep doing everything you need to do. Do me a huge favor and just go up to one of your family members, go up to one of your good friends if you don't talk to your family, and just tell them you love them, hug them. You never know when that's going to be taken away from you, you know? And just looking back, I wish I could tell them I love them more, but I can't now. So I'm going to continue to tell my family that I love them. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully on my channel too. Peace the fuck out, guys.